All right, KPIs. Let's talk about KPIs for DTC brands. I like KPIs. That's my kind of my thing. You know, I'm not I'm not on the creative side of things. I do come up with some crazy creative stuff sometimes, but that's more like creative financing, creative concepts. I don't really create any finished products that anybody would look at. I'm more of a behind the scenes. I hire people who do creative. But KPIs is my thing. I like a big long sheet, 40 columns probably, or 40 rows, 40 columns, yeah. What I do is I do everything month over month. So I have 12 months in a year. I'll start with the month, and then my next column will be orders, gross sales, discounts, returns. Then I'll do after returns and discounts as a percentage of gross. So I want to know what was discounts as a percentage of gross sales. Was it like 7%, 10%? I like it to be low. It's one of my things. So, I work for an apparel brand. Our returns are around 11 and a half, 12 since inception. So running 4 years, close to 20 million in sales at this point for DTC. And we're running around 11.5% returns. Discounts were a little bit lower, 11% since start. So that's the way I like to do things. I like to keep discounts and returns low. You know why? Profits. It's good to have profits. So then after that, I go to for discounts, returns, new to brand customers every month. I want to know exactly how many. And then I have that again as a percentage of of orders. So I can tell 50% of my customers were new. That means that's good. I like a lot of returning customers, but I also like a lot of new customers. The next addition on the columns will be Facebook ads, Google ads, spend, and then spend by the day. And then after that, it goes to a bunch of KPIs, MER, NCCPA, the MER G off of gross, MER off of net, MER with returns and discounts. Then I go into growth by day, or growth by day. So I want to know, or growth by month. So I want to know how fast we're growing by the month. But the way to do that, because there's a different amount of days in each month, obviously, is I divide the gross revenues by the days of the month, and then I compare that to the month before by day, so that I'm not comparing February, which has 28 days, to January, which says 31, because no sense in that. Then I go out a few more rows, and I'm doing add to cart, traffic to the site, email opt-ins. Then I do all the percentages on those. I compare it to the month before. Do we get more email opt-ins this month? Do we get more traffic this month? Do we get more add to carts? Do we get more reach checkouts? So now we're at about 40 columns. The last two columns I have that are KPIs would be Klaviyo flows, Klaviyo campaigns as a percentage of gross revenues, and then as a percentage of each of those. So that's what my KPI chart looks like. It helps me figure out when things are going wrong, either in paid or in CRO, conversion rate, or in retention. So I can look at my chart and say, my email revenue's down this month, my gross revenue's down this month. What does that tell you? Or I could look at my add to carts and say, add to carts are down and my gross revenues are down. What does that mean? Or I look at and I say, oh my gosh, gross revenues are up, ad spend's up. Well, that makes sense. So, this is all the numbers are connected. But when you have them on one sheet, it's a lot easier to do this kind of stuff. You look at it, you know what it means. I wouldn't be messing around with 6 different charts, sheets, information all over the place. You got to run back and forth. I see guys doing that. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? You trying to kill yourself? You want to make it difficult to make money? Make things easier on yourself. Get a nice long spreadsheet, get a big screen, take your time and look at it, get used to it, know the numbers backwards and forwards. Like I was doing a podcast the other day and this guy said, what is your, what did he ask me? I think he asked me AOV. Yeah, he asked me AOV. I was like, it's usually 192 to 202. What period of time are you talking about? And I was typing, and he told me 60 days. I was like, yeah, it's 195. I knew what the number was. I didn't know what period of time he was talking about. I don't know exactly, but I know it pretty close always. You should always know your numbers. You shouldn't have to wonder what they are. I can always guesstimate pretty close, but obviously if I'm talking to somebody who those numbers matter to, I'm going to tell them the exact number. So it's good to know the numbers, and the only way to really know them is to be in them all the time.